What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers, bringing you guys your daily hail forecast, sponsored as always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, American Contractor, and Atlas. They are linked as usual in the description to this video, so go ahead and check them out there. They do some awesome work. So we do have a couple of chances for storms this week, starting today and into tomorrow, and then we've got some more minimal chances throughout the midweek. We're going to talk all about it with our future jet stream, and then we're going to go into the hail and wind risks that we have for you guys for today. We got everything from Phoenix into Philadelphia, and then all risks possible through the east. Got more for you guys tomorrow, so lots to talk about there. And then last but not least, leaving you guys with the tropics. Not quite as much to go over as you'd expect for this time of year, a little anticlimactic, but we're going to talk about what's on the horizon anyways. So before we get into all of our weather coming into our upcoming events, the first of which is actually going to be the RCAT MRCA Roofing Conference here at the Fort Worth Convention Center in Fort Worth, Texas. This one is September 27th through the 29th, so coming up here quick. Go ahead and make your travel whatever you need to do to get out to there and say hello to Hail Trace. And then we're going to be at the next OU home game as well, doing another tailgate. We'll get our graphic thrown up on there for you guys as soon as we can get it all put together, but be on the lookout for that as well. Then yesterday, we didn't have a whole lot going on, just a couple scattered reports pretty much across the south, but for the Phoenix, Arizona area, we did get some severe hail as well as some notably severe wind. Got upwards of 75-mile-an-hour gusts through the area around and in Phoenix, and then got a couple of severe hailstones here and there as well. So not too shabby if you guys are in Arizona. Elsewhere, it's pretty quiet. So for our future jet stream here, we're going to talk about all of our upcoming storm chances, all right? So these low pressure systems help us get cold fronts that drives the storms, et cetera, et cetera. This is the first one that's tracking through right now. As it continues off through the east, the cold front with that is going to continue to stir up storms through New England, and then a separate disturbance is helping us out through the desert southwest for today. Now, as that first low pressure system tracks eastward and off the coast, by tomorrow afternoon, we'll see another shot of severe weather for you guys in New England associated with that, and then we're waiting on this guy to make its way through the Pacific Northwest, tracking through the northern plains, and then back through the Ohio Valley, see what we can get through that through the end of the week. But again, waiting for that to kind of creep along. There it is by Wednesday at noon. Could see a couple of scattered storm chances out ahead of that. And then a couple more by Thursday afternoon. It's not really doing a ton, not tracking super fast, but we could still get some activity out of that nonetheless throughout the midweek, and then see what it does by the end of the week, see if we can get some more organized severe chances. So for right now, it's pretty clear across most of the nation. Like again, Phoenix and Philadelphia are really our areas of concentrated risks for today. So right now, pretty clear across Phoenix itself. Northern Arizona has a little bit of light showers happening through the region, but we're going to get some severe weather picking up through the next few hours here. Colorado we have to see if that low pressure system can swing down far enough south. You know, Colorado, Oklahoma, Texas, we've kind of been getting missed by those low pressure systems. They've been staying too far north, but as fall picks up, they tend to make their way further and further south. So we'll see if Colorado can pick up here soon. Now for Phoenix, again, we're going to see some activity starting up here this afternoon and evening. Same for the East Coast. We're watching that cold front stirring up those storms now through West Virginia and the western part of regular Virginia. As those track off to the east, we'll see some intensification happening, see a little bit more severity picking up, as well as more storm coverage through the area all the way from North Carolina up into the far southern part of New York. So here's that cold front that we're talking about right now through the nation. It's going to be really nice. 79 degrees in Little Rock and Memphis, 77 in Kansas City. So waking up to fall temperatures here all the way through Oklahoma, and even Dallas is sitting just at 80 right now at noon. Now, as this cold front tracks off to the east into those warmer temperatures, that's when we tend to see a little bit of storm development picking up. It's not really going to move very quickly. Here it is by 6 p.m. where we have that storm risk through the east, and then here it is by tomorrow at noon. Really not tracking eastward very quickly, but we still could get a shot at more severe weather developing through the northeast ahead of that cold front into tomorrow, and then the rest of us sitting in the mid-80s through the South Plains. So for significant hail, that cold front, it's not doing a ton. Just want to put it on here to show you guys what's going on. We don't have a whole lot of change in temperature throughout the environment, so that's not really going to help us get that hail that's, those updrafts that are forming and then freezing in the upper atmosphere. So not a ton on our significant hail model either in the east or in the desert southwest right now. And then by the time it does pick up through Phoenix, through Flagstaff, Tucson, storms are already kind of on their way to fizzling out through the area, and it doesn't really change much throughout the day for the eastern risk. So not a crazy hail chance, but we do have some color on there, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see some quarters or half dollars here or there, spoiler alert. So here's our storms developing through Arizona and even parts of New Mexico by early this evening. We're going to start to see some scattered coverage just to the east of Phoenix. Now, as these storms continue to develop, they're going to start tracking towards the Phoenix downtown area as well as making their way up towards Flagstaff by around 7 p.m. You're going to see that coverage continue throughout the evening and overnight, and then by the early morning hours into tomorrow, we'll start to see those storms fizzle out. Then off to the east, you already got those storms tracking through West Virginia and through Virginia. Again, we're going to start to see those picking up here in the coming hours. So by the early afternoon, we're starting to see some cells tracking through Virginia. A couple of those could rotate, so we want to be on the lookout for that. Could see some hail coming out of those. And then once we see things start to band up and cluster together, we got a wind risk. So everything possible across the East Coast for today. So all the way from southern New York, we're getting those cells way down into the Raleigh-Durham area by around 6:30 p.m. So end of your workday, still seeing some scattered storms. Coverage is going to stay pretty scattered, but we will see a good amount of coverage through Philadelphia, through State College area by 8 p.m. And then tracking off the coast there for Virginia, for North Carolina, and then up through New York, we're going to continue to see some risks into tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow morning even. So for today, quarters to half dollars is what we have in our risk for you guys. If you're in Phoenix, if you're in Flagstaff, even Tucson, you got a chance to see some hail through that area through this afternoon and through this evening. Again, it could be, pretty concentrated towards the beginning and then kind of tapering off as storms move up to the north and to the west. Now for the area through the east here, from Raleigh all the way up into Binghamton, New York even, got a low-end chance of seeing some quarters to half dollars for you guys, especially initially with those storms. And then again, once storm mode kind of changes over to clusters and bands, then we'll start to see that wind risk pick up. So for a wind risk, looking at similar areas for you guys through Phoenix, through Flagstaff, through the east. So could see some gusts upward of 60 miles an hour through the region here for you guys with those storms as they continue to track up towards you guys. So be on the lookout for that. And then through the east, through Philadelphia, Virginia Beach, Raleigh, got a low-end chance of seeing some damaging winds, but you also got a low-end chance of seeing tornado activity if you guys are through the area where those initial cells are developing with that chance of rotation. So again, just be aware of your weather if you guys are through this eastern risk area. Then for tomorrow, that cold front is going to continue to advance very slowly, but advance nonetheless up through the New England states. So by 10 a.m., we already got some storms that are rolling that are going to kind of be lingering from today. We got them continuing up through New York, through Albany, up towards Burlington. Now they're going to continue that way by the early afternoon, and Boston could be getting their first round of, some heavier weather here. Then another round coming through central Massachusetts by around 6:30, so the late evening hours. I guess this is 7:30 Eastern. But nonetheless, again, could see some rotation on those with those isolated cells through the area. And then going to track up towards Maine and fizzle out in the early morning hours for you guys. So another risk for y'all if you're in New York, all the way up through Maine, really could see some severe weather. So nothing expected for hail. Once again, it's a little too cold up in that risk area, and we don't really have any forcing for those updrafts. But we do have that low pressure system swinging through. We got some stronger upper level winds. That'll get us a wind risk into tomorrow, especially again with those rotating storms. So if you're in Burlington, Albany, Boston, even Hartford, Connecticut, Portland, Maine, you guys could get, again, a gusty windstorm or two, as well as some potential for rotation. So So tune back in tomorrow and we'll update you guys on all of this. And again, just stay tuned to what's going on. Just keep an eye on it as we roll through this low pressure system tracking across the east. Then leaving you guys with our tropics. So it's, we're in peak hurricane season statistically, but it's been really quiet. And this is all we got on the horizon here. 0% chance of this one forming over the next 2 days as it makes its way off the coast. And then in the next 5 days, got a 20% chance of forming. It's going to move pretty slow up to the west-northwest. But as it does, we could see a little bit of a chance of it developing. There is some wind shear issues in the atmosphere, so that might not help us out too much. But we'll see what we can get out of this first one. Then the second one, again, 0% chance over the next 2 days. It's got to try to get itself together. You can see the area they're talking about here on our satellite. It's going to try to organize itself a little bit. Can it is the big question. But over the next 5 days, again, a 20% chance. So once it's making its way towards the Windward Islands, that's when we could start to see possibly some development on this storm, if it can get out of those harsh conditions that have been so present through the Atlantic right now. So keeping an eye on all of it. I'm going to update you guys as usual, but stay tuned. We are on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter if you want to follow us. We're also on TikTok. So hit see first on Facebook so you never miss a live video. Hit that notification bell and subscribe on YouTube. And then if you want to get in contact with us, you can call us at 855-334-4245. You can also email us if you'd rather at info@hailtrace.com or check out hailtrace.com for more details. And for now, I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers. Thanks for watching.